recomping versus bulking and cutting. Should I bulk or should I cut? This used to be a common question amongst new and intermediate lifters for so many years, but now there's a new strategy that everyone's arguing about, and it's the recomp or body recomposition. Whereas for so many years, old school strength athletes and bodybuilders will go through slow, long, arduous phases of muscle building coupled by short periods of cutting to reveal that old school classic physique that we all admire so much. But now we're going to talk about recomping. Is this even possible? Is it even humanly possible to build muscle and burn body fat at the same time? And we might know some top pro bodybuilders that are able to actually grow into a show and get huge and shredded, but they're genetic freaks. There's a ton of drugs involved, so forget about that, guys. We're talking about the average genetic lifter here. What's the best option, and is a recomp a good option for you? I think the first thing you need to think about here is, are you a newbie? If you're new to lifting, you're going to get those newbie gains. These are the coveted newbie gains that you're never going to experience again. If you lift the heavy iron for the first time, you will get bigger, you will get stronger, and you will get leaner. There's no questions about it. I've done it thousands of times with clients and online clients. I've seen tons of people recomp. So yes, recomping is possible. But then when you look at this again, guys, what are your stats? That's the next thing you want to really address here, is what are your stats when you get into a recomposition, or if you're going to approach that as your goal as you enter into that phase. Think about, are you skinny? Are you a skinny fat guy? Are you a chubby guy? Whatever it is, be honest with your analysis of yourself, because you're only going to be able to gain a little bit of muscle and lose a little bit of body fat at the same time if you've already been lifting for a couple years. Once again, if you've been training hard for a couple of years and you're genetically average, then you're probably only going to get so far. It's not going to give you that extreme change. You're not going to be a 150 pounds at 20% body fat and up at 200 pounds ripped 6% body fat. It's just not going to work like that. So if you're in the situation, you're an intermediate lifter, you have a slightly high body fat percentage, this is probably not the best option for you. So then if you're still contemplating whether the best option is recomping or not, ask yourself, how dedicated are you? Is dedication going to trump genetics? And unfortunately not, guys. You're going to see pro bodybuilders, all kinds of strength athletes who can just eat whatever they want, pile in all kinds of food, stay shredded, get bigger, and do incredible things. But let's just say that you are that dedicated, you are that committed, you want to just dial in on every level and see how much of a transformation you can make. What you're going to see here is that everything has to be dialed in. You can't be fucking around with your sleep patterns. You cannot be missing workouts. Your meals have to be timed as close to your workouts as possible. You have to be very strategic, very detailed, and very goal-oriented, and be committed 100%. And then, only then may you be able to recomp and see the gains you want. Now, the last issue I want to address here is long-term. Where is your long-term focus when it comes to your training? And that's where, if you have to gain 10, 20, or 30 pounds of muscle, a recomp is not the best option for you. You see these guys in the gym, they look the same 3 years later. I'll go to a gym that I used to be at, I'll come back, 2 to 5 years later. Everyone looks exactly the same. No one is really making these lifelong, consistent progressions, guys. So don't be that habitual recomper who's, oh, I'm bulking, bro, I'm cutting, bro, and never actually do anything real. So get real with yourself. Know what your long-term goals are, and start off lean. So once you start off lean and you think about entering this phase, this is the best way to approach this. You're going to get lean first. I'm not saying ripped to the bone shredded, but at least 8% body fat, under 10% body fat. You should be able to see some abs, and then slowly and steadily build muscle mass, and that is the best way to get big and get lean, guys. For more articles, videos, and tips, head over to justinwoltering.com. See you there.